In this module, we will cover probability. Probability is a number between 0 and 1. The probability of, if the event could never happen, the probability will be 0. And if the event always happens, for example, the sun always rises from the east. If that always happens, then the probability is going to be 1. Take this example. If you're going to roll a fair die, and in this case, the sample space is, you could get a 1, you could get a 2, you could get a 3, you could get a 4, you could get a 5, or you could get a 6. So the probability of having rolling a 1 is 1/6. The probability of rolling a 2 is also 1/6, etc. All the way to the probability of rolling a 6 is also 1/6. Or collectively also the probability of getting any number between 1, any integer between 1 and 6 is going to be 1, because you have to get a number, isn't it? So how do I get 1? I sum everything up. And also, I use the logic that when I roll a fair dice, I have to get a number between 1 and 6. So that brings us to the idea of complement. What is the probability of not getting 1? Well, we could sum up other probabilities. We could sum up the probability of x. I could get a 2, I could get a 3, I could get a 4, I could get a 5, or I could get a 6. So I could sum all those probability up. Or alternatively, I say, well, probability of not getting a 1, that would be 1 minus the probability of actually getting a 1. Actually, I'm skipping a step over here, so I'm going to put that back. So it's going to be 1 minus the probability of getting a 1, which is 1 minus 6 equals 5/6. Notice that if I approach this calculation in a different way, I should get exactly the same answer. So that is section 4.1. Section 4.2 covers addition rule. In this section, you're going to see the keyword. I have 1/12. What does 1/12 means? That means sometimes I choose one marble from the back. I choose one cookie from the box. I roll the fair die once. So 1 is the keyword. And we consider different scenarios. For example, we want to say, what is the probability of getting a 1 or 4? Well, I'm either going to get 1 or I'm going to get 4. So there is nothing in between. So in this case, I could sum the probability of getting a 1 plus the probability of getting a 4. And that will give me 1/6 plus 1/6. So let me make it a little bit better. So that is the addition rule. Now this is the simplest case of addition rule. When you go through the homework, you see different cases. For the multiplication rule, that is section 4.3, multiplication rule. In this case, the keyword is multiple trials. For example, I could have 2 or higher number of trials. Misspelled that. So I'm not going hiking, it's the experiment I'm running. So that means I could choose 2 marbles, I could choose 2 cookies, I could choose 2 M&Ms. And in this case, or for example, I could roll the die more than once. And I want to find the probability of getting, for example, 3 both times. So the probability of first row is 3 and second row is also 3. Now every time I roll a die, that is an independent trial, and the probability does not change with respect to what I get the first time around. So when you roll the first time, there's 1/6 chance of getting a 3. And when you roll for the second time, it's still 1/6 the chance of getting a 3. So multiply this, the probability of getting 3 the both time will be 1/36. So this is really just a brief introduction for this module, and I have given you only the simplest example. When you go through your homework, you're going to see more examples, and please, whenever I have a video over there, please watch those videos first before you start working on the question. And if you have any question, please do ask me during the class or email me.